And welcome to this lovely Sunday morning. What a great identity Clary Connors is, and a man that's going to take me right through Turf Talk this week is Kenny Callender up in Sydney. How are you, Ken?
I'm well, thank you, Simon. And the Melbourneites nearly got all the cash at Rosehill yesterday. They plunged on a previously unraced horse called Great Condor, trained by Peter Clark. He was 3s into 9 to 4. A lot of money went on him, but it's a big effort to try and win a race at your first start in a race when you consider that the horse is a late 3-year-old. He'll be 4-year-old in a fortnight, but he almost pulled it off.
And Mick Clark flew up to ride him too, Ken.
Exactly right, to do his brother a favour, and if you're on him, you probably thought you were going to get the cash. Let's roll tape and have a look at the race. As we pick them up, the other well-back runner, well-known, a grey, leads on the outside of Charlie Bubbles. Now that's Great Condor going up into 3rd place in the orange colours. Back on the rails also in orange is Chlorophyll. And if you look further out, the 2 stablemates in the green, Garlic Thunder, and in the black cap is Military Coup. Now watch the grey, and inside the grey in the blue and yellow colours is I'm a Freak. Great Condor streaks away, looks home and hosed. The Melbourne boys are cheering, but here comes I'm a Freak, and just gets there in time to grab Great Condor. I'm a Freak's pretty promising, but I know the horse I'd rather own, and that's Great Condor. As we pick them up on replay, Great Condor in front, I'm a Freak, his only challenger, and his colours are blue and yellow. And if you think you worry about the significance of that, I'll tell you, he's part owned by a chap called Peter Wynn, who used to play for Parramatta and Australia, and Parramatta's colours, of course, are blue and gold. And I'm a Freak beat Great Condor, but Simon, I think Great Condor is a horse for us to follow.
Yeah, I don't think the Clark family would care if he played for Parramatta or Cooey Rupp, really. At this stage, they would have lost their hard-earned yesterday. Mate, staying in Sydney, race 4, the winter handicap, and Maxi Lees and Craig Carmody. Yeah,
too good, Mr. Woodman. I didn't realise he could do this to this field, but he absolutely bolted in, and he's come solid. As we pick them up, it's our Mr. Woodman sharing the lead with Profits. Then back on the rails in the cerise colours is Mercy. Over the top in the blue colours, very disappointing for a 7 to 4 shot. Outside of him, Nick's Joy. And then down the outside, Brawago in the white cap, and wider still Yaradorf, but the bird has flown. It's all over. Our Mr. Woodman goes on to win very decisively from Nick's Joy and Profits. Well, not much to say about this. Our Mr. Woodman, he scooted away to about a 3 lengths lead there. The others had no hope. I backed him at his previous start, and he certainly didn't race anything like that when he finished 3rd to Brawago. But yesterday was his day. Craig Carmody rides horses that race in the lead very, very well. And, well, they're bunched behind him, but there's a big gap between 2nd and 3rd. I think I should have called Daylight 2nd, Simon.
Yes, Daylight 2nd. I noticed Tappy's still got Brawago in there in his call, just to keep pumping up and keeping him going week after week. He's had a lot of form, and he's been doing very well in the last month.
The horse is going pretty good, and he's a credit to his trainer, Neil Campton, but he's up in the weights now, and he's going to find it that little bit harder. One thing, though, yesterday was 1,300. I think he's really looking for 1,600 now.
The Waterhouse family, they're still prominent in Sydney racing during the winter. You really can't keep the good lady down. She's coming up with better and better.
Well, she had 3 top fancies in the Winter Cup yesterday. The winner, Grand Connection, Cautious Cluden, who finished 3rd, and Popstream, who was unplaced. As we pick them up, Cautious Cluden has just headed off the early leader, Lute Song. The baldy face there is Calvados Charm. Outside of her in the green cap is Prince of Justice, and now in the yellow is the eventual winner, Grand Connection. Another horse to watch is in the green and black behind him, Wings on Track, trained in the bush. He rattled home, but here, Grand Connection has dashed past his stablemate, Cautious Cluden. Wings on Track puts in a charge, but, well, the winner was too strong. He's won 3 in a row over 2,400 metres, and Gay told me after the race that she thinks he's got a chance in the Metropolitan. He won't get too much weight, probably around about 53, and he'd have a chance. There he goes. He's a solid stayer and really hits the line at the end of long distance races. Wings on Track, a nice run. I used to only consider him a wet track horse, but these days he seems to handle both good and slow going.
We're not about to question the opinion of Gay Waterhouse either with that horse, because she's had so much success. The last 12 months have just been phenomenal, haven't they?
Yeah, her horses are flying, so I'm, you know, they look as though they're supercharged as they join in the straight, and if it's a close finish, they're usually the one doing the better on the line.
Yesterday, coming down to Melbourne, we had Moonee Valley racing at Sandown, and we had the final of the MVRC NDRA Winter Championship, and it was a pretty good race in itself.
Yeah, I thought that the favourite, or the 4-1 chance Big Hug, was a little bit disappointing here, and all honours with the winner, Bonbeau. As we pick them up, the grey Regal Ricochet's in front, but the horse that runs up to join him quickly is Big Hug, and then in the white cap is Jet Express, and further out on the track comes Bonbeau in the centre, and wider still, Lucky Enough. Gives a bit of a charge, Big Hug, but no, he can't fight on, and it's up to Bonbeau out in the centre, and Jet Express kicks back on the rails to actually chop Bonbeau out of third placing. Bonbeau first, Lucky Enough second, and Jet Express in third place. That's Big Hug near the inside. The white cap is Jet Express, and then out in the centre, Bonbeau, the eventual winner, and wider still, Lucky Enough. I thought here that Lucky Enough might get to Bonbeau, but Bonbeau, under hard riding from Nucky, was just too solid. Not a bad rider, Simon Nucky.
No, he's come over from Perth and he's joined the Gerald Ryan stable, and he's had a fair amount of success, as has Gerald Ryan. I mean, Gerald's really taken training before him. He hasn't been around that long, but he's starting to challenge the top boys now, and full credit to him. Peter Nucky made the big move from Perth, made the sacrifice, and it seems to be paying off for him. So good luck to both of them. Mate, I'm in Brisbane yesterday, the Breeders' Classic for the 2-year-olds. A few smart ones there, but I think Eldon Raj, if I can pronounce it properly, and I'll leave it up to you, mate, finished off too good for him.
Yeah, and another winner for Chris Muntz. He's a top jockey, and I think his riding here made the difference. You watch the action and you'll see what I mean. As they come to the turn, Trail Boss leads from Sahara Imperial. Now watch Sahara Imperial in the red and white, hangs out, and getting the run through is the eventual winner, Eldora. Charges up now to Trail Boss. Trying to follow him through in the blue cap is No Piers. He can't come on, and Eldora goes past Trail Boss, and watch down the outside in the white cap. It's Video Time, starts to flash home, looks like he might grab it, but Muntz just gets enough out of Eldora, and Eldora hangs on to beat Video Time with Trail Boss in third place. Trail Boss on the rails, Eldora joining him. Those closest, No Piers and Sahara Imperial, can't do any better, and it's the white cap of Video Time that puts in the late charge. Video Time going out after Eldora, but once Muntz clears the lead of Trail Boss, he seems to get a lot more out of the winner, and Eldora wins clearly from Video Time. Trail Boss third. In fourth place finishing on is Totally Modern in the white cap, and No Piers in the blue cap hangs on for fifth spot. But I think the honours there were with C. Muntz more than with the horse,
yeah,
Simon.
I think they can. They're worth everything a jockey over that last 100, but they can get a little bit more, aren't they?
My word, they are.
Mate, just quickly, your volatile investment portfolio, other words, the punt yesterday, how were you?
The punt was terrible, but I'm going to get it all back today on Lord Vader here at Canterbury at the Sunday meeting.
Well, mate, I hope all our